Thank you, Christina. And speaking of the Super Bowl, we have a great recipe for you. We have Executive Chef Ted Polfelt with us again. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Yes, and what are we making? This is like a chili dip kind of thing?
Well, no, this is actually one of the soups we have at 419, and I just thought, you know, it's Super Bowl time, it's nachos, you know, what better than to show you one of our recipes at the restaurants. We've got a white chicken chili that I'm going to show you how to make, and then we'll put together a nacho at the end.
Okay, so what goes into this dish?
It's basic ingredients. We've got some good bell peppers, green bell peppers, red bell peppers, jalapenos, some white navy beans or northern beans, whichever you want to call them. A little bit of, we did diced grilled chicken at the restaurant, but you could do shredded, you could do roasted. It's a great thing to kind of help throw together. That's what soups are, a little bit of leftover stuff sometimes.
Exactly, right.
So.
And all those good spices, too. You've got I noticed in the recipe there was cumin and chili powder and all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
it really helps add a little bit of flavor and make that chili just a little bit different. I mean, it's something, I don't want to say it's healthier than a classic chili because there's still a little bit.
Don't say that.
Some butter and cream and good stuff in there, but it's definitely adds a different layer.
Okay, and you offer this at the restaurant, as you mentioned, so you can go on to 419 and get it, or you can make it yourself, and we will go through the steps on how to make it in just a few minutes. We're making a white chicken chili right now, and you have the peppers all diced up into the pot. Yeah,
so we've got our peppers that we saw diced earlier with some onions, and all I did was sweat them with a little bit of butter. And what I mean by sweat is we didn't caramelize them. There's no color. You can see they're translucent, but there's no color whatsoever. So to do that, you want to do that over low, medium heat. I've got about 4 to 6 ounces of butter in there and a little bit of salt, because the salt draws out the natural flavors of the vegetables and hinders the caramelization, which is what we're trying for here. So now that we've got all that nice and sweated down, we've got a bunch of fat in there, we're actually going to use all this as a base for a roux. And a roux is just equal parts flour and fat used to thicken anything.
And the fat is our butter right there.
That's our butter. So I'm just going to take a little bit of flour, and classic French term for this is sangé. Sangé. Okay. How much? Really what you're looking for is, I'm looking for that fat to come together and look like wet sand. So if you think about the beach and your toes in the sand when it's wet.
Let's think about toes in the sand.
Right. I know, it's a little chilly out, which is why this chili kind of makes sense for
This is a perfect recipe, right?
So still a little loose. But yeah, just wet
sand.
So just
keep on just adding just a little bit and just
remember, you can't take any out. You can always add more. So
good point. Good point.
Measure twice, cut once, and get that whole thing.
Exactly.
Makes sense. So you can see now it's starting to come together a little bit.
Yep. It's just a little thicker there.
Touch more, and I think we'll be good. Like I said, wet sand, not like dry, clumpy sand. The wet sand that's like right before the water, right before the wave.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So once we have that, then we put it back on the oven.
So once we go from there, we're going to add the remainder of our ingredients. We'll start adding our chicken stock and some milk and our beans and chicken, and we'll let that come up to a boil. And so that, in coming up to a boil, it'll take out that flour taste and give you that nice thickened soup, and we can start building our flavors. So.
All right, so we'll start building it after the break. Don't go away. You're watching Daytime Be Rich. We are back in the Frankie Rowland's kitchen with Executive Chef Ted Polfelt, and we are building our chili here. We have our roux already made.
So yes, we've got our roux already made, our vegetables, so there's that wet sand look I'm looking for. We're going to add our chicken stock, which I'll tell you, if you make it from scratch, kudos. If you buy it out of convenience, you want to make sure you really watch the salt. You want to get the low sodium stock because they tend to be really, really salty.
Yeah.
So we've got chicken stock, some milk, which you could use cream instead of milk. If you wanted to make this a little healthier, you could take the cream or milk out. For the lack of dairy, it's just more for mouthfeel. Some navy beans.
What kind of beans?
Navy beans or northern beans, whatever you want to call them. It's kind of the same bean, interchangeable word. So now all that's in there. Really, we're going to put that back in the stove, and while that's kind of coming up to a boil, when that comes to a boil, it's reached its full thickening power, so it'll get as thick as it will.
Okay.
If you wanted to do a different version instead of the roux, you could use cornstarch slurry or a whitewash like my grandmother used to use, which is flour and water.
Okay.
Matter of personal opinion. So we've got some chicken. This is just grilled chicken. You could use some leftover roasted chicken from dinner, whatever you got. Shredded, you could use shredded chicken. It's totally up to you. And then we've got our spices that we're going to add here. So we've got some dark chili powder.
How much are you throwing in there?
I believe the recipe I gave you calls for a couple of ounces.
Okay.
But it's, once again, taste
By
it.
flavor?
Yeah, whatever you really enjoy. And if you wanted to add another level of flavor to this stuff, always remember your dried spices, you can really change it by toasting them. If you put them in a dry pan, or over the heat, just make sure you move the pan constantly so you don't burn it, because don't walk away. But you can really kind of toast them, and it brings out a lot of that flavor. That's what a lot of Indian cuisine, Middle Eastern, they toast a lot of their spices.
Good to know.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try
You
that.
teach us new things every week.
Yes.
Try things. And a touch of cayenne in there. And so really we're at the mercy of this thing coming to a boil before we season it. So I wouldn't add any more salt until the very end, after you taste, and make sure it all kind of works and melts together.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
And then you're serving this
So in the
up.
meantime, I'm going to make you guys a snack, because it's about lunchtime, right?
Thank you.
Thank
No
you.
problem, I tried. So we do this at the restaurant. We'll do them with flour tortilla chips that we make in-house, or potato chips. You can buy your own. If you make your own, I just slice these really thin on a mandolin, and then just fry them in 350-degree grease until they look golden brown and delicious.
And they're so good.
They are. It's because they're sliced so thin.
Oh, you're putting it on
Oh
top.
yeah, I was gonna put them on top. You want a bowl?
Oh,
I'll make you a bowl.
I thought you were putting it in a bowl, but that's even better.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a nacho without chili, right?
Look at that.
True.
So at the restaurant, we'll do that. Oh, you're just gonna go ahead. I don't even need to garnish that, right?
Sorry.
I was gonna say, there's more. He wants to do more.
It's okay.
Oh, it's hot.
We got some nice salsa fresca.
well,
You could add some nice homemade pickled jalapenos. We do a little bit of cilantro sour cream at the restaurant, which is just some sour cream with some lime juice and cilantro to kind of add a little flavor to it.
And you put
And
that on top?
freshness.
Yeah. I was
need
gonna
some of
get
that.
there, but Brittany
I
kind of
need
jumped
some
in.
of that.
So, oh, do you? Are you
Load
sure?
it up.
Load it up.
Load it up.
Load it up.
All right.
Absolutely.
Man, that is so good. It really is.
Wait till you have the full
Even
dish.
without all the
Wait till you
stuff,
have the full
I'm
dish,
waiting on
Brittany.
the full effect
Sorry.
here.
I
Okay.
was hungry and it looked so good. I couldn't help it. Okay, I like that.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Of course, you make it look beautiful.
Look at that.
You
Yeah,
always
whatever.
do.
I'm just
Well,
folding
this is
around.
delicious.
Oh, and then we've got
Chives,
the
we'll put
chives.
some fresh cilantro. I'm not going to put the jalapenos on there because it's pretty spicy.
So we can get this at $4.19?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And
Sorry,
do you all
shouldn't
do
help you
something for the Super Bowl?
You know, we don't, but we run our Saturday and Sunday specials. We've got, our $7.99 wings, burgers, pizzas, the whole ordeal. And for Super Bowl and every Saturday and Sunday, you can also do takeout. So we get a lot of people who, I get it, they want to watch it in the comfort of their own home. Well, let us set up a party for you. So
Some delicious food.
absolutely.
People would be very impressed if you did that. So good. Well, we have the recipe for this on our website. Go to daytimeblueridge.com. Look for White Chicken Chile. Also, you can find 419 West. They're on Electric Road. You can give them a call, 776-0419.